Oh, Jodie. Oh, Jodie. We don't feel the same way. We don't feel the same way, darling. What a night we've had. Wow. Okay. So okay. Before we do anything else. Good evening, everybody. How are you? Something very important I must do. I must don my formal garb. For it is indeed the first night of Chanukah. Oh, Chanukah, come light the menorah. Which means, and there we go. That is Hanukkah candles. Oh, okay. So I may publicize the great miracle. Tell you, Mel Gibson was at one point talking about getting out of his anti-Semitic trouble by doing a movie of the War of Hanukkah, right? Which would have worked for me, mate. Let me tell you, that would have been a freaking awesome movie. Interesting bit history. Anyway, I digress. Fuck me, what a night! Man! Okay, there were some out there, not many, some out there who were thinking, oh, Chris Chibnall has to retcon the Timeless Children somehow or other, right? That just has to, right? There were some out there who were still doing it. I was like, no. I mean, he might have to eventually wrap it up and put it in a box, but right now, I was like, no. Because if he's retconning it, tonight is not the night where he double, triple, quadruple down. He revealed the answers to everything. I was 100% correct about tonight's episode. It functionally had to. Oh my god! Oh man, so many clangers. It functionally had to sort of answer up all the questions and put you on a mission for the finale, right? Maybe for like the ultimate quest or whatever, the boss level, which looks like they're going to get that, right? Or tantalizingly cut close. And then that's going to be what the Doctor's looking for. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if the Doctor ends this looking for a MacGuffin we saw at the end of tonight's episode. So, but then they got this B plot, which is excruciating, which actually play it like the A plot, which is Indiana Yaz and the Temple of the Bestest Ever. God, she was Indiana Jones. Yaz was Indiana Jones. Look, darling, look, Mandit Gill. Here's what you can expect from Mandit Gill, right? If you went to like a dinner theater sort of thing or a murder mystery weekend, she'll be pretty good at that, right? That's the sort of thing she'll be okay at, right? She'll be kind of like, I think she could do that. This involved acting. Nah, she what? She can't do that. And boy, if the thing to do to point out that she can't do the acting is put her next to an actor in every scene, which was the guy from Pirates of the Caribbean, who, blow me, is an actor. Or maybe he's just standing next to Mandit Gill and a plank of wood would seem like a bloody actor, right? It's freaking insane. Right, it is unbelievable. Oh my god! Like, who thought that was a good idea? We're going to be going through. If you haven't seen it, I'm going to take you through the whole thing. It's and then in between it, they double, triple, quadruple down on the Timeless Child and tell you the answers to everything. Who's the woman in white with the straw hat? It's boring. It's boring, and you don't care. Yeah, that's really the common denominator. It's boring and you don't care. Really, if anybody needed to sum up the Chris Chibnall era, it's boring and you just don't care. Okay, so we got Archibald Lazarus is here. How are you doing, sir? Heather Sula, how are you? Mr. PC Gamer Forever, how are you? I've been loving Halo Infinite. Oh god, I can't do those multiplayer games. Does my head in Heather Sulu. Rob, anybody, if I had a time machine, I'll go back and make the younger Chibnalls watch Jodie series and tell him afterwards his adult self made this mess. Just before he went on to open air, right? Like, maybe he was commenting on that. Maybe he was so traumatized. That's what happened. Somebody showed him his future Doctor Who, and just before he went on air, and he was so traumatized by that, he thought he was talking to himself when he was talking to Pip and Jane Baker. What a load of shit that was, the Peter is. You are correct. What a load of shit that was. Yeah. Oh, yeah, okay. This episode, as I said, had to answer the question and set up the finale. This episode relied entirely on Chris Chibnall's writing ability and Jodie's acting ability. Aha! I think we found the problem. Oh, my God. By the way, if you're just joining us, I am wearing my festive garb, as this is the first night of Hanukkah, as indicated by the festive lights over here. Why are there two lights? If it's the first night, I mean, really, that seems like because you're not allowed to use the light for the Hanukkah Hanukkah. For anything other than publicizing the great miracle that happened. I'll go into more detail about that on my live stream on Tuesday. So you have another candle like next to it, a little bit higher up, a little bit bigger, and it's called the Shamish. And you use that one. And so then if you use the light, you can say you use the light that's not the miracle light. Okay. This is how navel-gazing Jews are. They'll be great at trivia. Man, it's so bad. There was a weird retread of the wonderful scene in Terror of the Autons where a man gets a killer gargoyle doll in his car because it's too hot. But it wasn't that in the end. The bits without Jodie Whittaker often were good, right? The bits without Jodie or Yaz were often good, right? That much I can say. We saw Kate Lethbridge-Stewart basically being set up for a return next week. Derek Banners is here, BD Rich is here, Ethan Berkheim is here, and Rob Anybody, I think I said hello to you, I'll say hello to you again. Just be on the safe side. I love Hanukkah, I'm not Jewish, but I love it. Dude, I love Christmas. What do you want me to tell you? I love Christmas. I'm a big Christmas fan. It's I'm big into it. Yeah. Man, so much food my wife made tonight. But it's really nice. This year, a couple of things aside. This year, my wife is super into it, right? It's not that she's not into it, but like, here, so, what's it? It's basically, again, I'll go into this in more detail on Tuesday. But she's really super into it now. So here, let me just, so now she makes sure there's presents for the kids every night, and they're just like silly things. Like, what they got tonight, they had, I will show you. So tonight they had the thing called, a little thing of Kinder chocolates. One second. Fine, let me share those. I go front there. So anyway, while that's coming over, oh man. I mean, really, the scenes with the ads were just, excruciating. I felt bad for her. I mean, it's like, it really, really just didn't work at all. Oh, it says it was cancelled. No, I don't want it cancelled. I want it to happen. Let's try that again. Okay. Okay, it looks like it's coming through. Yeah. Not cancelling it this time. Fine. I'm not touching anything. Not touching it until I open the files. There you go. Anyway. Honestly, I felt bad for Yaz. Let's say after. Now, finally, so everything's open. Share screen. Oh, there's a new thing called slides. No, I'm not doing slides tonight. No slides, please, sir. I'm British. Is this it? I think that's it. That's the one. So this was my kids' Hanukkah present for tonight. These are all the kids are in their 20s, and they really dug this. They were like, "Oh yeah." So this is the all the Hanukkah lit, ready for Hanukkah. And that's the. Sorry, remind me to tell you about the just symbolism of the dreidel. I just thought of that tonight. We have because the miracle was done with the oil. We have lots of things with oil. So we have potato pancakes fried in oil called latkes, and they're freaking awesome. I made up. So my neighbours brought round this thing called sufganiyot, which are basically like dough fried and dipped in sugar. Oh my God. Yeah. And we do this for 8 days and you don't die. Right? Maybe, if you're lucky. And that's the miracle of Hanukkah, right? That's the miracle of Hanukkah. Yeah, 8 days worth of oil every day. The way he says, no. How do you wrap these back? I don't know. I wouldn't presume to comment. Obviously, they won't retcon the time of slow, let alone Christian. Well, I think they will. I think it's going to be gone by the time RTD. He wants a blank canvas. I think RTD wants a blank canvas. PD Rich says it'll turn out to be false memories next week. It could be. No, I think it's going to turn out to be the MacGuffin she's chasing. Right? I think that's what's going to go on. I think that's going to become MacGuffin she's chasing in the final of the specials. So like, the famous watch. Ooh. Anyway, we'll talk about it when I go through the episode. But shortly. I've got to say hello to everybody first. I have to be polite. Please enjoy the view of Sufganiyot from my neighbours, which was awfully good. My wife's making her batch tomorrow night. She's got different things each night. I think she's doing corn dogs one night. I'm quite looking forward to those. Space Out is it? How you doing? Well, I do look cool in that. You're right. Danny Miller, it's Shitty Who. It was. Oh, God. So boring. A, B, and C plots not very well connected. Well, you did have Vinda and Bell and Covenista all on the same timeline now. Like, they all kind of linked up. And Swarm and Azure, who are by far the best things out here, right? They are by far, oh, my God. Whatever they were so good when they turned up, and they just they were just like they make the Doctor seem so insignificant, which she really is. Cross Godwin is here. How you doing, Danny Miller? I think I said hello. I'll say hello again. It's just Jodie. Gareth Morgan. When David said he was going to honor everything Chibnall does, he said he was going to he was not going to do a damn thing to repair this mess. Again. I just think he likes money, right? And I think if he can repair the mess, he makes a lot of money. Is that bottom? I mean, that's really the bottom line. I think there's a lot of ego involved. I think it's really, it's making him look bad, right? Like he made this basically, and it's been broken, and he wants to put it back. Plus, he's going to make a ton of money, which I really think makes a big difference. Like, principle, I don't think it's going to go against his principles, right? But I do think it's going to be populist, so it will make money, right? Which is what Doctor Who is supposed to be. And quite frankly, if you wanted Doctor Who to be diverse, it was perfectly diverse under Rusty Davis, right? For God's sake. I mean, did anybody even notice the interracial couple? I didn't. I mean, somebody pointed out, like Rose McKenna. I'm like, oh yeah. Who gives a shit? Oh my God! But that was back in 2005 when we weren't racist. It's so weird. When he says he's going to honor it, he'll be like, yeah, fuck off. Yeah. It took Chibnall to make the end of the universe boring, and no one cared. Yeah, basically, exactly. It's just me of the 144p. I don't know. I should be full. I should be 720, baby. Even Thumpers says Matthew Pounder. How are you, sir? Okay, I'll start and whiz through the chat now. Stuart Perry is here. As Falcon House, how you go? Shit, that can hardly be right. I thought this was the greatest show ever. Greatest show ever? Oh God, it was so bad. No. Is it getting better? No. Sean Cunningham says, good evening, Rabbi. Is it getting better? The answer to that is a definitive hard no. No, I would say it's getting worse. Okay, I will say it's getting worse. But again, here, look, this was the episode that you couldn't hide anymore, right? This is the episode where you had to put our shut up, right? I was so right when I wrote this, right? This is it. Week 5 or 6, all the glitz, glamour, and spectacle in the world won't help hide the lack of story this week. No, you had to show your story. It became time to show your cards. That's what episode 5 is. Time to show the story's cards. What are you playing, right? And we showed it, and it was shit. And I knew it would be shit, because that's all you can bloody do. It's time for General put up or shut up. Uek, you're right, Jodie. You should shit yourself at that. And rightly so. It was garbage. It was absolutely garbage. Yes, he'll move on. I think he's going to forget all this. Did Jacoby Gibbs find his Aztec god? I don't. Is Jacoby Gibbs the Pirates of the Caribbean guy? I don't know. No, I don't think so. Or where did they end up? Oh no, they ended up in Great Wall of China or somewhere. Just like really stupid. That's annoying. That of course somebody would have noticed. Oh, so dumb. Those places look tasty. They are tasty, but I could live without them being around everywhere, but they're very good. Donald Trent says 43 watching and 28 likes. An unknown dislike. Oh, God, I hate the I was so happy to see the dislikes. Please, they always do me well. Neil Carlos is here. Who else? Okay, Gary Bryant. I think I said hello to you. Yeah, Yawn Kid strikes again. It was boring. Yeah, absolutely. It was absolutely boring. Absolutely, I was going here. Fine, I think I caught up with everybody. Let's then we can stop talking about this turgid bloody episode. Oh God, it was bad. Fine, where is it? Where's my notes? Had a whole new watching note-taking strategy this week, which I think was reasonably successful, quite frankly. We'll keep this on screen for a bit, I think. Well, as I talk. So firstly, I turn on a Country File. They're talking about building a wall out of horse shit. I'm like, well, that's not a good entrance, right? That's not a good entrance. By the way, if you're somebody who looks out for signs and portents, which I am, I know, unusual things that happen around this time in your life is, I believe, a reflection of larger things happening about 6 months down the road. So, if you get a little bit of good news, it might be very good news for the future, and vice versa, So I just say that because we actually got quite a good bit of good news recently. Okay, so then Country File finishes, and I'm thinking, man, all this stuff wasn't really being made available without drone technology, which is all it's about is drones flying around places and taking off everybody away. Go, goodbye! It's like rainbow, man. It's like rainbow. Then we get now for Peaky Blinders, and I'm reminded that Conservative MP that they all freaked out about. What? No, role model. No, boys don't need role models. They can be trash. That's what we want. I mean, look, let me just be clear. The urban policy of the people who espouse this era of Doctor Who has resulted in a vast majority of fatherless homes, right? Which breeds crime and low income, right? So don't tell me they don't revere the criminal classes. But yeah, look, you actually have somebody you look up to as a man. And Peaky Blinders. I was just thinking that when I saw this ad, I'm like, man, that proves a point, right? It's one thing you're allowed to show. You can only show masculine strength as a villain, and it works, right? And so that's why the only interesting characters are white men. That's why tonight the only character I was really quite interested in was the Grand Serpent, right? Whatever his name was. So where we are. So we did previously, and incredibly, mostly it wasn't bad. I was like, oh, okay. Then Jodie shows up on the previously, and he gets shit right there. And there's no cold opening. Always a mistake. Always a mistake. No cold opening. No, you want a cold opening. I think this episode is the one that's going to make next week's episode the lowest rated ever, right? When I say lowest rated ever, I think it might be. I think the overnight might go under McCoy's 3.1 for Battlefield 1. Right, I think it could do that, and I'm claiming victory on that, cunts. Quite frankly, because firstly, the general population growth would add 1 million on right there, and secondly, don't tell me nobody video stuff for later. Shut up! I live there. We all did. Piss off, right? But I think this week's episode is the one that's going to make next week's episode the lowest rated ever. After their highest rated AA of the month, which was Capone's lowest rated, we're probably going to get the lowest rated. Like in this week and next week, it's going to fall off a cliff, right? It's going to timeless children, right? It's really what's going to happen. Anyway, no cold opening, just shit opening. I'm gonna die. And it's Stone Jodie, and it's kind of bollocks. And she crumbles, and she's awake. I'm like, oh shit! Now we're not going. There were rumors of there being a Jodie light episode. I'm like, oh fuck, it's Jodie right there. I'm not pleased. And she's obviously in some non-corporeal place, and she doesn't realize it because she's just a dummy. And there's like a billion angels standing around in this like weird place or nowhere. And she's like, "Oh, what am I doing here? Icky thump, icky thump. Oh, gotta stop my little feet as I am. Oh, icky thump." And I think I am quoting verbatim. And she knows what's happened. And she is shit confronting the angels. Hey, I'll go up my stairs and stop my feet. And she's just shit, right? She's just absolutely shit. And they've say that they may have transported her for transport. And she's like, why? Said, oh, to be cruel. No, it's probably the only way you. Oh, for God's sake, fuck off. It worked once, okay? When Moffat did it all that time. You've reused it and reused it. It's the third time you reused it, cunt. Enough. Write your own shit. Oh no, I forgot when you do that, it's just shit. Oh God. It's like necrophilia. He keeps squatting on the remains of the dead, thrusting himself all over it. I'm talking about Chibnall now, of course. Then she says, "Hey, me friends lost. Oh, I won't never lose me friends. Oh, you can do that like me." So then we go to the A plot, which is engineer. She's stunning and brave and stunning, as she glides down into a temple interior, an engineer temple interior, as Dan, boom, crashes down to the floor. And she doesn't look up because she's a shit leader who doesn't give a shit about her. And she just scrunches up a little face as she tries to figure things out because she's that smart. Oh, she can work it all out. How they put a lot of money into adventuring over this episode. Where this money comes from, I don't bloody know, right? I don't bloody know. But oh, she's that smart. She is. Oh, don't you stop her. So she figures out the clues because she's going to be a role model for little girls. Nobody's going to care, darling, because you're totally uninspiring. You are the person at a murder mystery evening who is quite good. Okay? Quite good. Don't get excited, okay? Don't get excited. Oh, and she is. They make her act, and that's awful, right? And then Dan gets yanked up, and Jellicoe comes dumbing it down. So and it's really bad, right? When you have Yaz next to Jellicoe, because the man can act, right? The man is actually a legitimate. He does this as a profession. This is his job, right? You can tell, right? Yeah, that he did it before you were able to get hired on your skin color and gender, right? This you can tell, right? He's actually got some aptitude for this, and it's just embarrassing, right? It's absolutely embarrassing, and she's just insufferable as a leader. The two men are just there to support her, make her look stunning and brave. It's kind of like, it was kind of a shit movie, but a funny idea. Excuse me. When it was it the Green Arrow? No, the Green Hornet. When somebody knows the Green Hornet didn't really do shit. Everything was Kato, right? He didn't really realize that it was Kato, right? So that's kind of a funny idea that he didn't. So it's kind of the same way there. Like she doesn't realize that people making all this happen are the two men that she's ignoring and talking down to all the time. Right, so back to Jodie, now back in a non-angel form. She's being woken up. Oh, I give up. And Ood is waking her up. And she's looking around and saying, oh, Where am I? What's going on? Oh, I don't like this. Oh, I'll go see Father Flump. I will. And he says, please come with me, says he. And he goes with her, and she walks up, and you can see it's a woman in the white straw hat. So who is that woman? Who could it be? Oh, who knows? So as I look at my notes, it turns out, oh god, yeah, we get in the space of a minute, we get like this real info dump, and she says, "Who am I? I am the Division." Right? I'm like, okay. I mean, like, I thought it was somewhat bigger. But, okay, no, she is the Division, apparently. Okay. So, we're getting lots of answers coming. Lots of answers to the questions you don't give a shit about. Where was I? 1 second. Over here. There you go. That's what I'm looking for. Now in Constantinople, more Indiana Jazz being more stunning, more brave. Dan and Jellicoe are the two sidekicks. And still, Yaz is still insufferable. Just absolutely insufferable all the way through this. So then as they're getting a clue, they hear a hissing sound, and there's a fuse going to a bomb that's to blow them up. And so Yaz is stunning and brave. You can put stuff on the bomb to muffle it, right? But not enough, and they get out just in the nick of time, but somebody's after them, we don't know who. But Yaz saves everybody by being stunning and brave. Because she's stunning and brave, because she's Yaz, who's stunning and brave. Then they're on a steamship in the Atlantic, and a waiter comes at room service, and so Dan apparently always has to be the stowaway. So why can't he get a cabin? I don't understand, right? So he always has to hide under the bed when the food's delivered, but it turns out that the waiter is a dodgy waiter, and the dodgy waiter is going to try and attack Yaz, the stunning and brave Yaz, who beats him off because she's Yaz and she's. I'm not making this shit up, okay? This is actually what happens, right? Beats him because he's Yaz, because she's the best as ever. Dan starts to help, but she doesn't really need it because Yaz is just great. And they're wrestling with the assassin. Who sent you? Who sent you? She said, Icky Thump. Emulating a hero who she does masturbate to later in the episode. At least that's the vibe you call it. And again, I'm not making it up. Okay, I'm not making it up. So then, was it? The assassin says, "You cannot fight the future," but then kills himself. Oh, can't go. Oh no. So the Jess is genuinely. So then she tells Dan and Jellicoe, said, "Well, what should we do with the body?" Says, "Oh," and they put him under bed, and Dan says, "I sleep under the bed." He said, "Well, just keep him there till nighttime and take him out and throw him." Like, I don't want to sleep there after the body's been there, bitch. How about we put him in your bed? We'll put him in your bed for now. But how about that? That's not a good plan. Is that stunning? Is that brave? Oy vey. Anyway. 1 second. I need to just refresh a second. First on everybody. just some lovely pastry food to make things go a bit easier. We have these wonderful things called these donuts, basically fried dough dipped in sugar. This was given to us by our neighbours. And then we have these potato pancakes, also fried. Lots of fried things. Anyway, back to the episode. Sorry, I just needed a break for a second so I could recharge. Man, this is hard work. Fine. Where were we? So Eddie kills himself, right? So then we get a kind of an interesting nostalgia-led side plot. We have the Grand Serpent, right? So he's now I can't remember his name. He's got this new Preston or something like that is his name, and he's a man from the gentry, and he's doing grouse shooting with this army general, and he's like He's like, well, I investigate the strange and the unknown, the rum and the peculiar, right? So he said, well, that's interesting because I have been given the remit of setting up. This is what, as a 1958, I think. Yeah, 1958. I have been given the remit of setting up a unit, which is basically just that. I don't know where to start. So he gets him involved right from the beginning of unit, right? So the birth of unit, the military personnel in charge don't. Fine. So basically, it's corrupting unit from its outset. So they're back on the steamer boat. Oh God! And Yaz is looking at a hologram message from the doctor, and I swear she looks at and masturbates often. Right? It's just the way she played it. I don't know if she's just an incompetent actress who's mistakenly playing strong platonic friendship as she wants to fuck somebody over and over again, right? I don't know if that's how she's playing it, right? Or that's what the character is, or just in real life, maybe they are. Who knows? They seem very close. I wouldn't want to say they're fluid. I wouldn't say they're closed-minded because that'd be wrong, wouldn't it? Yeah, didn't want to accuse them of that. Fine. So this holo message is really quite excruciating. David Tennant impersonator of him leaving a message for a companion. It's basically doing a bad Blink impersonation where you hear the whole the thing of the David Tennant leaves without the interruptions. It's basically that. And it's giving her mission, her stunning and brave mission. It says that basically after Flux, Earth is going to be the last remaining planet because of the Volpari shield, which is the magic, just magic. The Volpari shield's some bullshit. So it's going to be a center for occupation because it's going to be the last place alive, basically, right? So Yaz needs to figure out the date when the invasions will begin. Really? I'm like, why? I don't understand. How's that going to happen? And that's basically it. The men come back from getting rid of a body, which Yaz is just like, you just do it, silly men. The guy was crying, can't fight. I was going to say, the guy was crying, can't fight the future. So the in the vision, something is going up. Things are blowing up everywhere. So what is the vision? What is the division? Hey, just tell me. I want to know. So she's like, oh, okay then. So the division is basically it started on Gallifrey's secret organization, more secret than the CIA, shadow government that then branched out and had many people, many members of many cultures in it. Right? Honestly, to be interesting, they should have Daleks on board and things like that, I guess. All right. So the division is just like this huge. It's a boring universal shadow government. That's always been there. It's the most powerful thing ever. Yet nobody knew about it until now. Okay then. Well, that sounds like bollocks. Division is simple and indescribable. Multicultural entity of shadow government across the space and time. But also totally serious. Why couldn't Jodie find it? He said, well, what other than being the absolute shittest of all the doctors there, the retard doctor, right? Why could I do it? Maybe because you're a retard. So they give the moustache twirling answer, the woman in white, because we're not in space. Da. I mean, oh, really? Last time that happened was the doctor's wife, wasn't it? Or maybe I am. It's not so weird. All right, fine. So back in 2021, the Volpani ships are surrounding the Earth is failing, so the whole shield is going down. So he calls in. There's one Volpari ship that didn't answer the whatever it's called, the genetic core, as he brings it on a water pilot. This is a ship that was commandeered by Bell. So now we're bringing her into that. She was just landing on this, like, skeleton of the... You remember at the end of Revenge of the Sith, you saw, like, the skeletal beginnings of the Death Star, like, kind of like that, but, like, half of that, right? So there you go. This weird, like, spherical, half-built skeletal world thing. Like, man-made thing. All right, she was just arriving there, and that's when the ship got commandeered from there. All right. Fine. So then they arrive at Earth, and Covenant and Bell then shout. Covenant beams over, and they have a bit of a fight. That's quite good, actually. Again, the bits without Jodie Whittaker are often good. That was a decent bit of action, right? I kind of like the doggy. The doggy's stupid. I kind of like the doggy. It's just me. I like animals. I don't want to tell you. I like dogs. I like the nature of dogs. I think they're nice beings. And I know it's stupid. I know it's not really done very well, but I just like the doggy. What do you want out of me? They do have a good. He's got this big, like, axe thing that fun. It's not. I mean, like, again, it really is much more like the Tomorrow People revamp than Doctor Who, right? But still, so back on the planet that Bell was trying to get to, Vinder shows up, right? Vinder shows up. He pulls out his gun as he pads around quietly. I think you saw this in the trailer. He pulls out his gun, and he finds these people staring these, like, how do you describe it? Industrial, like, imagine like industrial furnaces with, like, this weird glowy blue light in it. They're all, like, staring zombified into it. And he's, like, trying to work out what's going on. He's looking around. And then right in the middle of it is Swarm and Azure. Right, you remember it's their, like, superpower, like, the blue lights, is their evil light, right? So, I like Swarm and Azure. I think they're good. They're good every time they show up, really. So then we get some really bad Chibnall dialogue, right? It's, the Chibnall dialogue is, what is it? So the people in the stupefied people looking at the blue light said they are space, and Swarm and Azure are time. They are both the playthings and their power source, right? They are their playthings and their food, essentially. The people, and they cackle evilly, but they're awfully good at that. I like them doing that. All right, and now they said, now they're ready. We can connect to her now. And you kind of looking forward to it, whatever their evil plan is. That looks like it might be interesting. So the division is outside the universe. There are multi-universe. I'm like, we know this. They talk about the multi-universe. Outside us, there's another universe right next to ours. So they give the idea of multiverse, but we've known about, like, Doctor Who has been to multiverses before. Okay, but whatever. So there's some techno babble for no reason. Whatever. I can't remember what they said. So basically they start doing this massive input dump really, really quickly, right? First they say the old universe is dying. It's over. It's being destroyed. They're moving to the new universe, and they're taking out from the universe whatever they want to bring into the new universe, right? They're deciding what's in the new universe, everything, and the universe is like they've initiated its compression. Is compression. It's like, but so they said, but what did it? What initiated the compression? And they said we introduced a virus in the universe to destroy it. So what's the virus? The virus is the Doctor is the virus. Oh, because she's so noble. and she's so wonderful. She's just brought goodness everywhere with her special good heart being good everywhere. That's essentially the plot. That really is what happened. At first, they thought she'll be manageable, but she made the universe too good, and then she meddled with and then when they started to initiate the end game with releasing Swarm and Azor and initiating the Flux. Also, this now ties the Angel episode to this. Initiating the Flux. She even screwed that up with throwing a TARDIS in front of her. How stupid! Right? Well, still it works. And then we get another big da moment. If you gave a shit, but which I don't think we all do. She said, "Who am I?" I said, "Oh, I would have thought you remember my eyes. They stay the same through all my regenerations." And she goes, "You knew me as Tiktun. I was the one you called Mother." Yeah. So now we're back in 1967. We're outside unit headquarters. I enjoyed that. What can I tell you? They get that very right. Prentice is there, and they're walking around. They enter a unit, and there's a TARDIS there. So what's that? I said, "Oh, that's the only thing we couldn't work out from what's it called again? That village where the Doctor was. So we had it shipped over there. We still can't open it." And he said, "But look over here. We have an incredible supercomputer," which is, of course, pathetic. They get the unit uniform spot on. All of that stuff is right. The general is showing them all their good alien, their good stuff. They got the alien detector. He says, "Look at it. I tried on me. Boom! I'm not alien." He said, "I'd like to try it." And he said, "Oh, I'd rather not." So no, I'd like to try it on you. I said, "Boom!" He comes up. He's an alien. It's like, "Oh, well, that's weird. It must be broken." And he's like, "Really? Is that really? Is that what you think?" Is it? I think they kill him at that point, right? Did I write that down? Okay, fine. So he then dies horribly, Convulsion dies, and this giant snake, CGI snake, comes out and goes into the back of the Grand Serpent and merges with him. Right? Okay, fine. So now we find out the Eve Darcy Pan division is destroying the universe to get the new one, to basically bring the new one into being quicker. That's why she had Dr. Jodie brought there by the Weeping Angel. How can the Weeping Angel work? He said, "Oh, we make alliances with lots of species. We are everywhere." So basically, the Weeping Angels, they kind of work for the division for for money. I don't know what. I don't understand. Do they have a P-45? It just seems to be that makes them a little bit less interesting. There. Oh, okay. I'm gonna go home now to the kids. Better not rock anybody, or we will never be able to move. Fine. So anyway, they're destroying the old one to get the new one. Fine. So they got the So the reason they needed her so badly is to stop her saving the universe when they do the final collapse, which is happening now, right? Then she says, "Is what the master told me true?" And Tecton's like, "Might as well tell you. Why not? The story is true. Yes, you are the timeless child from another portal." So they double, triple down. And Tecton's like, "We found you on the other. There's no one to look after you. I had to look after you, and then experiment on you. See, you took something that didn't belong to you. Said, oh, you would have died on your own, my pussy. So Tecton said, "You're just the same as me. You pick up your companions, you drop them off whenever, you treat them like pets." Says, "Hey, I'm nothing like you. Icky thump," says Dr. Jodie. I mean, like, what a massive dump. So then Vinder is on the planet, back on the Masters of the Universe planet. It's very Masters of the Universe feel to this season, right? Really, the look of it. when what's it? So they're so they're Vinder's on there. Vinder's on the Master Universe planet, and he's cornered by Passenger, and there's Swarm and Azur. They call him as a friend of the Doctor. He's met the Doctor once for like 10 seconds. It's really weird. Then he realizes, of course, it's supposed to be Captain Jack. That makes much more sense. So then Passenger appears, boom, and he's inside Passenger. So if we get to see what life's like inside Passenger, he's at the top of these like steps in a Grecian temple. It looks like there he meets Dan's one-eyed woman. And somehow they know each other. I don't know. He said, "Hey, I'm glad her name's Pam, and I'm glad you got a gun because I'm stunning and brave." I bet you are, darling. Now we're in the pool, 1904. Indiana Yaz meets this holy man. This is really weird, right? Really bonkers weird holy man. He's like sitting there all cross-legged. Then he's like, "Hey, do you have any gossip? Do you have any gossip from below? So, do you have any food?" Everyone's like, "What? Why are you?" He's like, "No, I was just teasing." So, basically, eventually, he gives them his holy message he was given. The holy message he was given is 3 words long. He said, "What is the holy message? Fetch your dog." Right? Fetch your dog is the 3 words. But of course, Indiana Yaz works it out and then comes up with, in hindsight, the most insane plan ever, which actually works somehow, right? Impossibly. It actually, how? I don't know, but it actually does. Freaking incredible. So where were we? So they're in by the Great Wall of China. They go there with paint, defacing like large areas for some reason, and nobody ever notices what they do. No, until 2021, when Carvanista sees on the ground. He didn't say it all the other time. All the other time he appeared at Earth. Just right now, he sees the message they left. "Come and get us. We're in 1904. Doggy." He's like, I don't have time to all technology. I'm like, you were in the division, weren't you? You weren't in part of the Doctor's team. Isn't that tied up? It sounds like Chris Chibnall's view of Doctor Who was a snarling, gun-toting figure going into combat with the troops using the TARDIS, going, let's go fight, kill. Like, it sounds crap. Anyway, it sounds worse than one of the drafts for the Doctor Who movie they wanted to make in the 90s, right? When you had the Time Battalions. Oh man, that sounds crap. So okay, fine. So Jodie back with Jodie. She's trying to take the Ood around. Said, but you have the Ood in the universe. You stick with me. I'll save everybody because everybody can be saved. Because I'm the best as ever. And really, Jodie is terrible at everything. I think it's fair to say Jodie is absolutely terrible at everything. We can sort this, she said. What about the science? Not much about the. So finally, she convinces him to scan the universe. So, what part of the universe is this? This is all of it. So, this is all that's left after the flux. So, there's really not much. It seems to be not much of the universe left, right? Fine. Where are we up to? And it says, the time compression has started, and the focal point is going to be the planet Earth. That's the last place that's going to be compressed out of existence, right? And the flux was there to basically clean that out, to get people there, all set up by this tech tomb person for some reasons. Fine. And then Jodie has a quick here's all these whisperings, like one of the Professor Granotas' the sphere. Like, the whispering. And then she has a quick vision of that floating ruined house again. It looked like Lung Barrow. And then she looks up and she sees a a fob watch, which is clearly a chameleon arch fob watch thing, right? Which I'm like, oh man. Gee, I mean, like, everything is just such a ripple for 74. And she's like, hey, is that me personally? Is that me missing time? Which it obviously is. Okay, back in 1984, there's that actor I quite like. He was the unscrupulous gay owner of the haberdashery, who was closeted gay, who was clearly wanted to hump one of the people who got AIDS first in It's a Sin. I do like that actor though, right? He's he's like in charge of unit. He's standing in the way of the great Grand Serpent, whatever Preston, whatever his name is, becoming on the unit advisory board. At which point, when he's in the back of the car on the way home, very, very similar to it being too hot with the gargoyle from the Pertwee Terror of the Autons, a big snake comes out of the fat guy, and he dies. He dies. Another one down by the Grand Serpent. He said, I used to have empires that will deal with this, but I kind of can come to embrace the personal touch, right? Which I kind of like. So then we're in the steamship again, and the tunnel bloke walks in. Says, blah, 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 blah. Who am I? Stompy, stompy, stompy. And he's Joseph Williamson, of the famous Williamson tunnels, which, of course, Dan knows all about because he knows all about Liverpool, because he loves Liverpool. Because he's a weird, creepy tour guide who isn't a tour guide kind of guy, right? Weird, strange, creepy dude. So they work out that fine. So they must have been. They're back on a steamer ship. I forgot they went to Nepal in the interim, right? So how are they paying for this? I have no idea. So they work out that they've got to go to Liverpool now to try and get to these tunnels, so they can contact this Williamson guy who clearly is somehow involved because he walked in when they're on the steamer ship. They haven't been trying to be murdered again. Walked on the steamer ship to wherever it is, back home, I guess, after defacing half of the Great Wall of China, or the area around it, I should say. Fine. Where are we up to? So they're in 1904 Liverpool to go to the tunnels. And they're trying to find a way in the tunnel. And the guy says to the three of them, you'll be scared for a ghost to see that, especially a pretty girl like you. Said, I'm not a pretty girl. You better worry about the other two, though. And she stomps away. How dare anybody find her physically attractive? Don't worry, darling. You turn us all off, darling. You turn us all off. So they go down the tunnels, and they find him in the tunnels, right? They find him in the tunnels. And Dan tries to talk to him, Scouser to Scouser. Doesn't work. He doesn't connect at all, right? So then Yaz takes shots because she's the bestest ever. It remains to be shit. It just awful. Just absolutely awful. Who talks down to... And she talks down to the tunnel bloke. And he's like, but you understand me. Yes, at last, somebody understands me. Fine. Oh, God. Man, this is agony. This is really shit. So then she asks, we're back to the division, and she's got the fob watch and says, is that my missing life or missing life? So how many have been? Is it 1, 2, 100, 300? How many lives have I missed? He's like, wouldn't you like to know? What would you give to know? So it's like this. You can either go back to your universe and try and defend it, but there's no chance of success whatsoever. Or you can stay and rejoin the division and get all your memories back and be, real you again. She's like, well, of course I can't do that. So in 2017, we see Kate Leffler Stewart units being shut down. But Kate Liff has worked it all out. There's a good standoff between her and Prentice, the Grand Serpent. She says, I'm wearing a dampener, so you can't put your snake thing to come out of me. So that night when she's going home, she puts a key in. This alarm system goes off. It blows up the house. She calls Osgood and says, Osgood, I gotta go dark. She snaps the phone. Boom, vanishes, right? Back in 2021, Bell's ship is remotely controlled. Her and Carpenter have that fight. Right. That was good. But the fight stopped because they're suddenly under attack. In the heart of the evacuation point, they meet the Williamson. He says there's a dozen doors to a dozen worlds, apparently, but they're all got shifted around by the flux. Now some of the doors lead to insane places. Door number 9 leads to death, for example. Then suddenly all the doors start hammering. He never really explained what the doors are at all. Like, hammering. Then the shields are coming. All the defense shields are coming down around Earth, being taken down by the Grand Serpent, who's talking to the head of Sonta. Says, "Do we have a deal?" He says, Sonta ha, we have a deal. Sonta ha, we have a deal. At the same time, the Volpari ships and Sontarans invade the Volpari ships, and also the 1904 tunnel. So Sonta ha, not bad. Again, if it didn't have Yaz, it would have been better. And it turns out, but the Doctor is going to get. Doctor D, I'm going to get you, Tech Dude. Oh, I'm going to get you. But it turns out, no, it was all the Doctor was just a pawn in Swarm's game. He made a connection with the Doctor so he could use her to be a doorway to get to Tecturn and the Division. So he gets to Tecturn and he says, I give you a kiss of death. And she melts away, destroying Tecturn. I'm like, oh, well, okay, that's pretty heavy. And then the cliffhanger is him heading towards the Doctor. Now, Doctor, you're next. But she's in the next week's episode. So, yeah, what can you do? She's still alive. I'm sorry, she's still alive. I can only do my best for you, mate. I can just show you what wonderful baked goods. And fried goods. Wonderful fried goods. I can show you miraculous Kinder chocolate or lights of hope. But, I can't change the episode. It was, oh, God. Oh. So the Daleks are in next week, the Cybermen, Sontarans, Kate Lethbridge is in charge of the Earth Resistance. It's going to be the lowest rated episode ever, I reckon. Let's have a look at the ratings quickly. Because it's funny, actually, was it? Village of the Angels got the highest, I think, the highest rated AI, but it's still like it was still what's his name's lowest rated. It was Capaldi's lowest rated AI. Oh man, we need Kitty and Daisy and Kitty news. Yeah, I know. I hope that Kitty's downstairs. My daughter's kind of scared of having Kitty downstairs because of the Hanukkah candles are lit. She doesn't want Kitty to blindly walk through them. I said she's probably, can sense it. She's pretty smart, this cat. Fine, let's have a look. The highest AI of the season is still as low as Capaldi's. So they got 3.45 last week. I reckon they won't have such a great depreciation this week. I think it'll be 3.25 to 3.35. Either way, though, I reckon this is going to kill next week, which I think we're going to be under 3.1, right, for the overnight, which honestly I think is fair to compare to Sylvester McCoy. Here, let's have a look. 1 second. What do they have to get to? Doctor Who Battlefield. 1 second. Let's look at the Sorry about that. Sorry, I pressed the wrong button. Okay, let's try that again. Doctor Who Battlefield. That should have the ratings there, which I think is that's the lowest rated episode they've had. Let me share that screen. Yeah, that's it. Fine. Start a little story Battlefield. Where's the ratings? 3.1, right? Their overnight for that was 3.1. Early. It's early in the season. It's 6th of September. That's early. No wonder it's low. But I reckon, man, 3 point. That's. Yeah, I reckon they're going to get. I reckon they're going to hit that or below. Don't you? There are 3. Hang on 1 second. We're at them. They're at 3.45 now. They're getting to 3.1, but they're going to lose 350,000 before the end of the season. Yeah. Oh, lowest rated ever. Go Jodie, go. Go Jodie, go. I still think the fallout. I don't think that the Village of the Angels will really save their decline. Right, I think the fallout's really is still pretty much a given. So the ratings for tonight, my ratings was prediction 3.25 for the 3.35. Let's have a look at what the chart said. You know, I made these charts for a reason. 1 second, I'll pull them up. No, wrong thing. There we go. Yeah. Okay, fine. Let me find the charts. Here we go. There you go. Found the folder. We're getting closer. Let's put them over here. Fine, so this is the Jodie era, you know, it is entirely. Zooming in a little bit, we can see it clearer. This is seasons 12 to 13. But so season 13, this is where we are. So my initial prediction, based on the data as of the 1st of November, was the pink line, right? Now you see a Village of the Angels, I think arrested that decline considerably. We were pretty much, but I think Village of the Angels did arrest that decline. We'll find out. I mean, it's at 3.25 overnight. It's probably at 4.3 seems a reasonable bump to it'll get from it. The green line is the predictions as of the 23rd. Right, so now these are the consolidated 7-day ratings. I think it's only fair to compare overnight to overnight. And again, piss off what people didn't video stuff for later. People video stuff for later all the time in the 80s. We all did it. It wasn't a big deal. It's just you don't know about it because you're idiot children who don't know anything. But yeah, and also the population is denser now, so that you just would get a natural million bump as it was. But never mind. But the coloration would probably be 3.88. Let's call it. The overnights will be bad. Yeah, overnights will be. I think overnights will be. But listen, the overnights may be under 3. That will be hilarious. If I may say so, absolutely hilarious. Fine. It's 11 o'clock for me. I'm going to do my full recap tomorrow. You'll get all the screen goes. Oh my God. I went through and did all my notes for Discovery episode 2. That was a nightmare. Oh my God. And then I was started to watch Hawkeye, and I'm like, oh man, awful. And eventually I gave up. I said, no, I have to watch Doctor Who. So I watched a bit of Capaldi. I watched Which is Familiar, which episode I do very much enjoy. I recommend it very highly. Sadly, the BBC doesn't care about viewing videos, only agenda. They cannot care about it. Right into their own destruction, baby, which is where they are headed. It's where they're headed. My name is Tzvi Lebetkin. If you haven't hit the like button, hit the like button. If you haven't hit the share button, hit the share button. Please hit the subscribe button if you have not done that as well. Thank you very much. I'm very, very appreciative of anybody who does those things, particularly the subscribe button. Have yourself an incredible Hanukkah. We end this season on the last night of Hanukkah, which is where true miracle happens, where I think we're going to see the ratings implosion. Mwah. Of all ratings implosion. My name is Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi on another planet. Please like.